first videos that I did, I was a little nervous, and I had talked about some of the improvements we had done to our trailer. I had mentioned that we had bought a bunk model, and we had taken and redid the bunk area. So today what we're going to do is we're going to do more of an in-depth and kind of show you exactly what we did and how we did it and where we got the stuff and why we did it the way we did and all that kind of stuff. So as you can see, this was originally the top bunk, and the top bunk went from, it was angled, so it went from this corner here, from this corner, and it went to that corner, and then you had that whole top was a bed, and then of course the same thing from the bottom, from here to over here, and then the bottom bunk, it would flip up, and then you could still have a little bit of storage under here. But the whole reason, even though there's just two of us, the whole reason we did buy the bunk model is because we had this idea that we wanted to take this area and turn it into a more suitable storage area for us, since we knew we were going to be selling our home and everything. So we just needed to make this into a spot where we could keep all of our clothes, a place for extra bedding, place for our fly rods and that sort of stuff that we like to do. And so on the top, you can see we actually have more storage up here on the top of these bunks, the way we have it. There's storage in between all of them.
Also, since these do open in the front, you can semi-permanently leave stuff up there. You don't ever have to remove the lids again. But these containers are really useful that way. I think those are a medium. I can't remember for sure. And they come from Home Depot, probably any of the big box stores. But they're the only box I've ever seen that opened from the front. And I think, yeah, these might have been a small and that might have been a medium. I might not be correct on that, I just can't remember. And these three towers came from Big Lots. I can't remember the price of each of them. It might have been around $20. It might have been more.
And they're the Sterilite brand.
And the one in front of the water heater is also just a Sterilite 3-drawer container. Most any store has those. I've seen them all over. I don't know if you can get that one. I can't remember this one was either Walmart or
It's also Sterilite brand.
Or Fred Meyer. So now we have all these extra drawers. Window's still functional. We can still get to the prop rod on the window.
And also right here in this spot, that's where our smart dryer goes. I showed that in one of our other videos, you know, our laundry video, and how that works. And you can see there where that board, he's attached it up there. This is all the wood that was in here from when we got the trailer. This is where all the bunks and stuff were attached. But you can see up there, he's attached the board there, and then also down there on the bottom, and then we have that little safety strap there that holds everything in.
So looking at it from the bottom, you can see that's the original upper bunk. And I didn't remove the platform. I cut it while it was in place. All the cleat all the way around, that's all the original cleat and the original top bunk board. I added a reinforcement along the front and also a trim piece on both corners. This corner was also left in place and just cut out because we wanted that extra ledge. So the top one was just modified in place, so you can walk into this area now. Where the bottom bunk used to rest on that cleat, and you can follow it. There's the bottom bunk cleat. That was also left in place, but the entire platform was removed from the bottom. Now, starting at the bottom, the way these towers were put in, I just came up with a simple solution. I screwed a piece of pegboard that I had to the cleat on the corner and all the way across the back. We'll see it from a different view. And then I was able to just put these three towers in place and zip tie them to the pegboard. That way they're still removable. And it's all tied together for structural integrity by these angle brackets. One there, pop riveted to the side of this upper container. And then these are also screwed through into those containers, so everything's tied together. So these two boxes are tied to these three boxes. These are zip tied to the wall, and those are fastened with those are just framing tie plates. They're kind of a 90-degree angle. Anyway, that's all there was to that, and all that just fit in there. Now I can show more detail by going outside, so I'll do that now. Okay, from out here you can get a different view. That's where we were in there, upper bunk. This was the water heater housing, and is the water heater housing, so I just took advantage of that. Found this cabinet we already mentioned that fit right in that spot. And I think I have two screws, or a screw on each corner, and then up high I just put on a little angle bracket, and that's all it needs. And of course we came up with these leashes for all the drawers so they wouldn't slide, and we did that over on the other three as well. It also gives you storage on the end of those three tower cabinets by just running a web strap around it, as well as normally there's not a wiener dog right here, but there's we stack a lot of things on the floor here too. And this is the view of the smart dryer rack again. And then I just put in another one to use for miscellaneous plastic containers. You could put anything there. Another view of those coat hooks. Those again are attached to the original upper bunk cleat. So we have 4 heavy-duty coat hooks. There's another view back to the bottom cleat. Again, the way this came, none of this was accessible here. This was all covered by a lower bunk. There's another view of everything in this framing was original with the upper bunk, but I did add this piece all the way across because this board, that OSB board, was bowing a little bit with the weight on top. And I didn't mention, but the upper containers that we showed you from the inside, they're just held on with the screw in each corner down through the OSB. In fact, you can see some screw heads barely poking through. And you just have to use what fits and buy the size that uses the space the best way. And that's all we did. It was pretty simple. It probably took a couple days. Anyway, I'll try to get one more view up this way. Kind of see out from the door. It's also much handier having this hatch door, because sometimes we pass items from outside to inside or vice versa, and we don't have to go all the way around to the main door of the trailer. So anyway, that's basically how we did it. Any detail type questions, you could email the Facebook, Hillbilly Hideout Facebook.
And one of the other things we did on these Sterilite containers is we added these footman loops here. He just pop riveted those on the front, and then we ran some web strap, just you know, secured it with that little buckle there. And then down here on the bottom we ran some web strap through there and put the other end of the Fastex buckle right there, because you know, when you're going down the road with all the vibration and stuff that's in the trailer, these drawers would try to slide out, especially this one back here, because the drawers, this one here, because the drawers are on rollers, so those would definitely come flying out if those weren't attached. And the reason that we put these with the long piece on the top instead of down there on the bottom is because if this long piece was down there, we would be stepping on it all the time. But with it up here on the top, you can actually just flip it around and tuck it back in there, and it stays out of the way while you're getting in your drawer. You know, and each one of us have one, so that way we have a place to put, you know, like socks and underwear, gloves, different things like that. And then this one here, we have, like, you know, our bathroom type stuff. You can see there where we have one drawer that's just kind of like stationary type stuff, and have a miscellaneous drawer, and then we have one actually for the pets. And that one down there on the bottom, you can see we have Maggie's diabetic and she has to have shots every day, so we keep that kind of stuff, the new syringes and stuff like that for her down there. But and then you can see this area that was empty before, it works great for storing stuff, you know, because like our Zodi shower we keep back here, in that little blue container down there. It has like all the accessories that goes to the Zodi, like the shower head and the burner and that sort of thing. And then we have that little heater there that we use if we're plugged in somewhere, so we're not burning up our propane too. But we like it. It works really well for our needs. And it's just really hard to find a vehicle, you know, an RV that has the storage that we thought we might need. And so if you're out there and you're trying to figure out a way to make a travel trailer work, I would suggest just thinking about buying a bunk model and redoing the area like we did, because, you know, it's nice. You know, you actually have a little walk-in area now where it's you know, you can, you know, get to the thermostat a lot easier, and the light up there, all of that was a little bit awkward before with the bunk being out to here. You'd have to kind of really reach around and be able to try to see the thermostat, but with the way it is now, you can just walk right in here and get to it real easily. So I'm glad we made the changes that we did. And I don't know, there's not a whole lot left to say on what we did, but it just might be an idea for somebody that's wanting to do this.